Hi everyone, welcome back. This week I want to talk about the topic redirection. And about that topic, it's not all rainbows and butterflies, which I love to say. Sometimes the redirection is the most difficult journey. It cracks you open. It feels like you're walking through the mud. It feels like you won't see the other side, and sometimes it feels like you're in quicksand. But those are the moments that we find our greatest version of ourselves for that moment, for however long. Redirection isn't scary. It can be, especially if you're grieving. It can feel like you won't make it out of bed, or it could feel like you did something wrong. But you didn't do anything wrong. In fact, you were just you, probably. And that's okay. That's okay to not be liked by everyone. That's okay to be you. Because being you takes courage. Being you and unapologetic and saying your truth and stepping up to the plate every day to create a better you, that's where the real change and where the real magic happens. Because the people that see your magic, that want to support you in your magic, will be there to support you. They'll hold you when you're down. They'll lift you up when you want to be lifted up. And that is beautiful. But there's also another aspect of redirection that I wanted to talk about too. It's about how you're kind of at this crossroads moment. And I think we've all been there where something happens and we realize, oh, this is a pivotal moment in my life. This is not just a moment where I dropped my pen and forgot my pen and then that was it, right? This is a moment where rapid and radical change happens for us. And that is beautiful. But it takes understanding ourselves to see that crossroads, to reflect and observe on what actually happened. What am I learning from this experience? What was this experience teaching me? And sometimes that's hard because you have to realize that you were a part of that too. It wasn't just that other place, that job, that person. It wasn't just them, because it was you too. And what about that moment that you're standing in? What actually got you there? Can you see the patterns that you were playing out over and over again? Can you see where you can let more love in? Because in the depths of despair, that is where we can let more love into our hearts, and that is where we crack open. That's where our heart cracks open, because you part ways with that place and that person and that thing, and you end up loving them even more. You end up deciding that it's no one's fault, but that you get a chance to grow. You get a chance to love more deeply, and you hit unconditional love, true unconditional love. Because the hardest thing in this life is to love something that is dark, something that doesn't feel good, and something that hurts. And so when you're at that crossroads, you have a choice. You either continue those patterns, those things, those little voices that you have in your head that tell you to keep doing this, your ego. You keep choosing that because you're comfortable, or you fall into and choose the more difficult way of looking at it, seeing what needs to change within us, and moving in that new direction. And that won't be easy. That will require you to dig deep, which is one of my favorite sayings, to become the observer, to not place blame on that outside thing from you, to not sit there and analyze and figure out where you went wrong, or why you ended up not liking going to your job, or why this is happening to you. It's happening for you. You get yourself out of victim mode and you truly, truly get to live in alignment. And what does alignment feel like? It feels like expansion. It feels like you can't be stopped. Your worth comes online because you realize you are worthy. You realize you are enough. And the people and the places and the things that see that know that resonate on that frequency will be there right next to you, in front of you, below you, holding you up and supporting you. So when you're faced with that moment of redirection where you are grieving hard, you are feeling a lot, you don't know how you're going to get out, just realize that that's love. That grief that you're feeling is love that just doesn't have a physical thing to latch onto. But can you pour that love into yourself? Can you see the beauty in what you went through? Can you see how worthy you really are? I can't answer that for you. What I can tell you is you can do it. I'm doing it. You can unconditionally love even those dark things and the parts of you that you really don't want to see, that you couldn't see. And it wasn't until that moment that you're in where your grief is just so great that you actually saw how you weren't so in alignment. Even if you thought you were, even if you know in your heart of hearts that you were, I think there's some part of you that you weren't. And that's what that moment is trying to teach you. It's giving you the lessons. It's allowing you to look at it and to change it. And that's not going to be easy. You're not going to wake up every day and think like, oh yeah, I got this. In fact, you're probably going to wake up some days and think, why did this happen to me? And in those moments, just like I do, I remember it's happening for me and not to me. It's happening to expand me to the next level, not shrink me. And yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. Of course not. But it gives me the moment to stand at that crossroads and look at it and say, I know where I'm going and I can't be stopped. Did you feel that? I just got chills. But I just really hope that if you're in that place where something happened or someone left you or someone or something just didn't work out and you're faced with that redirection, that you know it's either this, or as one of my good friends said, you either evolve or you repeat. And the choice is yours. It's nobody else's. And with that, have a good week. I guess I should talk about the energy of the week, which I normally do, but I'll do right now. We have a full moon, and I think it's actually today. Today's the 25th. Actually, I don't know what day it is, but we have a full moon, and we also have an eclipse coming up on the 8th of April, I think. And with that, a lot of things are happening. We have an immense amount of energy to work through right now, and one thing that has come online is relationships. And I'm talking business, I'm talking romantic, I'm talking family, and karmic, and what's the other one that people talk about, like twin flame, whatever. All of those are coming up, and if it's aligned, then you'll have a deeper connection, and if it's not, then it might fall away, and that's going to be hard. That's going to be really hard, trust me, because we have attachments. We see things that others don't. That's okay. We know things, and sometimes it just doesn't work out, but you'll be okay. You will. You get this chance to reflect. You get this chance to see whether something was toxic or something was not in alignment. You get to really look at it. And do you know what a gift that is? Such a gift. So be easy with yourself, rest, and just know that you'll be okay. You'll be okay. You'll either choose to stay on that same path, or you'll be redirected into a new one. And it might be scary. It might be a little weird. It might feel like darkness, but I promise you'll come out the other side, just like me.